This is the WJTS News. In tonight's news, the DuBois County Soil and Water Conservation District hands out awards at their annual meeting. State Representative Shane Lindauer sees his co-authored bill move on to the Senate. Lincoln Amphitheater releases its lineup for 2018. And in sports, Kurt Guxell looks at last night's high school basketball action. Plus, Informed features Purdue Extension educator Jan Dugan. All that coming up on 18 WJTS News. Good evening, I'm Bill Potter with the news on WJTS. Local, state, and county government law enforcement personnel were kept busy throughout the overnight hours and day today as the area felt the effects of a winter storm system that provided the viewing area a line of wintry precipitation that began to fall during the late evening hours Tuesday night. Forecasters prior to the latest winter weather event were unsure what we'd actually see, but pretty well precipitation that did fall locally was mostly in the form of freezing rain. Morning commuters in most areas found a glaze of ice on exposed objects such as trees, decks, and vehicles left out during the overnight. Local law enforcement was kept busy responding to multiple slide-offs and accidents caused by this morning's slick conditions. The brunt of those accidents occurred in rural areas, as most city streets and main highways were in pretty good shape early today. The freezing rain forced schools in the area to close for the day. A Birdseye man was sentenced to serve 360 days on home detention for sexual misconduct following his case where he was accused of raping a 12-year-old Davies County girl. 32-year-old Kyle Sickbert was sentenced in Davies Superior Court for sexual misconduct Monday after he originally faced multiple felony counts of child molesting and a count of sexual battery. Sickbert, who was dating the victim's older sibling at the time of the incidents, was accused of raping the girl during an overnight stay at his girlfriend's house. Sickbert's sentence was handed down by Davies County Superior Court Judge Dean Sobecki following a plea agreement of one level 6 felony count of sexual misconduct with a minor offered by Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Donetta Farr. As part of the plea agreement, Sickbert was sentenced to 900 days in the Davies County Security Center with 540 days of his sentence to be suspended. He will serve the remaining 360 days on home detention. A traffic stop in Huntingburg Tuesday afternoon resulted in the arrest of a Jasper woman on drug and paraphernalia charges. Around 1:15 yesterday afternoon, an officer with the Huntingburg Police Department pulled over a vehicle driven by 18-year-old Katie Stimpley of Jasper at the intersection of 5th and Jackson Streets. Police say they made contact with Stimpley and eventually a Huntingburg K-9 unit was called to the scene. The K-9 performed an open-air sniff around Stimpley's vehicle, which police say indicated the presence of drugs. Police say a search followed and officers found drug paraphernalia and a Schedule II controlled substance. Stimpley was taken to Huntingburg Police Headquarters and then the DuBois County Security Center in Jasper, where she was booked on a misdemeanor count of possession of paraphernalia and a level 6 felony count of possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. 2 people were injured and 1 was cited after a 2-vehicle accident Tuesday afternoon on Jasper's far west side. Jasper police say at around 1:30 p.m. yesterday, a passenger car driven by 77-year-old Donna Lutton of Stindle was northbound on County Road 350 West and was stopped at the intersection with State Road 56. Meanwhile, police say a minivan driven by 53-year-old Laura Gaither of Washington was westbound on State Road 56. Approaching the intersection of County Road 350 West. Lutton told police she did not see Gaither's van approaching and pulled into the intersection, striking the driver's side of Gaither's van. Lutton complained of pain to her wrist, while Gaither suffered chest and head pain. Both were taken to Memorial Hospital for treatment. Damage to Lutton's car was listed at $7,500, while the Gaither van sustained $10,000 in damage. Jasper police ticketed Lutton for failure to yield the right-of-way. The DuBois County Soil and Water Conservation District honored farmers, installed new board members, and heard about the impact of prehistoric humans on the land at their annual meeting Tuesday night. Kenny Beckman of Marion Township was named the Otto J. Bauer Conservation Farmer of the Year for his good soil and water conservation and those practices on the farm and the extra effort he puts into conserving natural resources. Meanwhile, Ron and Matt Leakin of Jefferson Township were honored with the OFS Forest Stewardship Award. The Jasper High School team of Alexa Hof, Wyatt Street, Justin Street, and Katie Stimptonoggle were presented the Ken McWilliams Award for Soil Judging Excellence in local competition. Alexa Hof was given a special plaque as the high scorer in the competition. The team is coached by JHS advisor Andy Helming. Kurt Vokel was named the Indiana Conservation Farmer of the Year, and River Friendly Farmer Awards and signs were given to Mark and Robert Yoakum and Susan Kruger. Guest speaker for the annual meeting was Dr. Stephen Ball. He is Indiana's Cultural Resources Specialist, who spoke of the prehistoric peoples who resided in Indiana preceding the Buffalo and Buffalo Trace, and how those peoples cleared and farmed the land. As part of the annual meeting, the Soil and Water Conservation District elected Alex Hull to serve a 3-year term on the local board as a supervisor, replacing John Jackal. The board also appointed Patrick Eckerly as a new board member last night, and he was sworn in to his term, replacing Alan Smock. The board consists of a mix of elected and appointed members. Soil and Water Conservation District Chairperson Brenda Summersheim says she is proud of the work conducted by the district and explains the importance of its efforts to our communities and our county.
The DuBois County Soil and Water Conservation District's mission is to promote healthy soils and quality water. As residents of the county, everyone should be interested in having healthy soils, having clean water. And our organization does what we can to educate and promote the use of soil and water to the benefit of all folks in the county.
Tuesday night's meeting was the 72nd annual meeting of the DuBois County Soil and Water Conservation District with nearly 200 people in attendance. The city of Jasper has once again earned distinction by being included in the top 10 of Indiana's safest cities as determined by the National Council for Home Safety and Security, which is a part of alarms.org. This is the third such time in the last 4 years Jasper has been named in the top 10. In a release, Jasper Police Chief Nathan Schmidt says being named as one of the top 10 safest cities in the state of Indiana is a great honor. Schmidt says the recognition is validation for all of the great work city officers are doing. Schmidt says, however, much credit needs to be given to the citizens of Jasper, who the chief says take pride in the community, continue to show officers support, and provide assistance by being the eyes and ears of their neighborhoods. Mayor Terry Seitz agrees. He says the citizens, the workforce, and the visitors to Jasper are their greatest resource. Seitz says officers and communications staff work diligently to prevent as well as respond to the needs of those they serve. The National Council for Home Safety and Security is a national trade association comprised of licensed alarm installers, contractors, and other relevant trade groups across the United States. Their stated goal is to further industry education and public knowledge about home safety and security. The Indiana House of Representatives Monday voted in favor of legislation co-authored by District 63 State Representative Shane Lindauer of Jasper that would help the Department of Natural Resources protect Indiana's wildlife and those who explore it. House Bill 1292 would clarify language passed by the General Assembly in recent years, allowing the use of rifles to hunt on privately owned land. The DNR would also be authorized to adopt rules ensuring hunters could use rifles on public property. Lindauer said in a release, these changes will help the DNR continue making Indiana's vast natural resources accessible and safe for Hoosiers and visitors. He says the state is full of beautiful state parks, nature preserves, and fish and wildlife areas, and that it's important for individuals to safely hunt, fish, and explore what Indiana has to offer. According to Lindauer, this legislation would also increase safety on Indiana waterways by requiring motorboats to be equipped with red and green starboard and port lights to reduce the risk of accidents. In addition, Lindauer's legislation would open up fishing areas by allowing fishing within 200 yards of a dam, while current statute has a setback of 300 yards. Lindauer said the proposal would also expand the non-resident youth hunter's license, encouraging out-of-state parents to bring their children hunting, trapping, and fishing. House Bill 1292 can now be considered by the Senate. For more information, visit iga.in.gov. Lindauer represents House District 63, which includes portions of Davies, Dubois, Pike, and Martin counties. On the heels of a 2017 performance series that saw 5 sellouts and an increase in overall attendance by more than 40% over the prior year, the Lincoln Amphitheater has announced its 2018 season lineup. The diverse set of offerings will feature performances by classic rockers The Guess Who, Grammy-winning country music icon Marty Stewart, and the mighty Max Weinberg, a member of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, as he brings his interactive Max Weinberg's Jukebox Show to Lincoln City. In addition, after a very successful 2017 run, young Abe Lincoln will once again return for an encore presentation in early July. The 6-show run will again be produced locally by Actors Community Theater, a not-for-profit theater company headquartered in Jasper, and will, as an encore presentation, likely be the final opportunity to see it. The Lincoln Amphitheater's 2018 performance series is the result of the 3rd year of a unique partnership and management agreement between the Indiana Office of Department of Tourism, a member of Indiana Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch's family business, and the Indiana Department of Natural Resources. Lieutenant Governor Crouch says the Lincoln Amphitheater has long been known as a somewhat hidden treasure in southern Indiana. She says she is tremendously pleased to see the facility's potential and use more fully realized, as well as to track its progress and success as its rejuvenation continues to trend upward as both a regional and statewide tourism resource. In addition to the increase in overall attendance, 2017 saw the venue sell tickets in more than 24 states, as well as at least 151 Indiana municipalities. For a complete listing of events or for information on individual tickets and season tickets for the 2018 Lincoln Amphitheater Performance Series that are now on sale, go to www.lincolnamphitheater.com. And amphitheater is spelled R-E at the end. Ticket prices are inclusive of concert admission, parking, facility, and service charges, as well as Lincoln State Park's gate fee. Seating for all shows and sections is general admission, festival seating. VIP tickets include preferred seating and a parking, as well as a complimentary drink voucher, good for Pepsi products, or beer and wine products. Concessions, venue merchandise, and artist merchandise will be available for purchase at each event. Now, stay tuned. Weather, sports, and Inform are still to come on 18 WJTS News.